Thank you for holding this first meeting of the conference. It's an honor to be here, and I'd like to thank our Republican leadership and Ranking Member Baucus for inviting me to participate in these deliberations. There's no question that our federal financial regulatory structure is broken and needs reform. Never again can we allow our economy to be brought to the brink of collapse by the excesses of Wall Street and the ineffectiveness of federal regulators. We need a smarter, stronger regulatory system, not more bailouts. We must restore market discipline, ensure transparency, and bring accountability back to the marketplace. Through this process, I and my Republican colleagues have offered alternative solutions. Some have been accepted, but the vast majority were rejected. My goal is to work with members of this conference on both sides of the aisle to send to the President a bill with our best and most effective proposals for reform that won't stifle investment, limit choice, or kill jobs. Not too long ago, one of my constituents traveled to Washington, D.C. to discuss financial regulatory reform with me and my staff. This gentleman expressed great concern about the financial regulatory reform bills under consideration by Congress. He asked, "Why is my business included in this bill? I never issued a subprime loan or traded a derivative." And then he said, "I'm just collateral damage." He hit the nail on the head. His small business, like so many others, risks being collateral damage under this bill, and that is the outcome that I hope my colleagues will work with me to prevent. Another victim of the new bureaucracy created under this bill is consumer choice. The new bureaucracy will tell businesses what services and products that they can and cannot offer certain consumers and take financial decisions and options away from the American families. Don't get me wrong, we must have financial reform. But unfortunately, this bill reaches far beyond responding to the financial crisis. I want to focus on one specific area, consumer protection. How do we protect consumers from bad actors and fraud without limiting their choices or diminishing their access to credit? Yet consumers want protection, but they also want choice, and we must strike the right balance. What's not the answer is the Democrat plan to create another federal agency, either as a standalone or as a bureau located in the Federal Reserve. We already have the Fed, the SEC, the OCC, the OTS, and the NCUA, and the FDC, to name a few. One lesson we learned is that bigger, uncoordinated government does not work when it comes to protecting consumers and regulating financial institutions. Instead, it only creates more cracks, confusion, and costs for consumers. Why not address the real problems with these agencies instead of creating another one? Are we creating another agency, or are we creating a problem? Again, the current structure is clearly flawed. Uncoordinated regulation led to lack of enforcement. For example, the Federal Reserve had the authority to update regulations on mortgages and credit cards, but failed to do so. As a result, many other federal agencies were charged with enforcing rules that they didn't have the authority to bring up to date. And let's not forget the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The GSEs had two federal regulators. One regulator, HUD, enforced affordable housing goals, while the other, OFIA, was to oversee the safety and soundness of these two entities. These two regulators had conflicting mandates and missions. As a result, Fannie and Freddie went unfettered, backed bad mortgages, and laid the foundation for the mortgage meltdown. The phrase, "no one can serve two masters," holds true, yet this regulatory reform bill will repeat this mistake in the name of consumer protection. It will have two regulators, including a new agency, writing rules for other regulators to enforce. It doesn't work. It places consumers and job creators squarely in the category of collateral damage. The bottom line is that stronger, more nimble, and more coordinated regulators need the authority and resources to do their job, exercise strong oversight, and rein in excessively risky, deceptive, and fraudulent practices. And these are the solutions I'm committed to achieving in this bill. Solutions that will get our financial system back on track so that our economy can grow, businesses can create desperately needed jobs, and American families can secure credit. And with that, I would yield the rest of my time to the gentleman from California.
Well, and I'll again reiterate that the problem here for the Fed was that what the Democrats